Hello, welcome to the Chivalry 2 Archer Guide. I'm going to be showing you here today tracking and leading. Tracking is when you're actively following a person with your cursor or aiming point, and then leading is when you wait for them to get to a certain point and you release the object you're using so that it will impact them at that point. So leading can be done really statically like I did in the last clip, or you can lead them slightly like there, where I led the guy, saw that he was jumping, led a little bit to the side, and follow that path. A lot of the time you're going to be able to lead people in video games because it is pretty predictable in the way you move, where it's really static. There's only so many animations, so it's really predictable in where you can lead somebody. So most of the time, if they're moving, you're going to need to lead them. And in order to tell how much you need to lead them, you need to understand how fast they're going and then compensate based on that. You also need to make sure that you're understanding how they're going to move. So you want to think when you're aiming at somebody, you want to think exactly how they are thinking and emulate them in their behavior so that you can kind of move along with them as their shadow, so you can predict their movements ahead of time. And it really comes into play when you're doing multiple engagements on targets, where you're going to have to very quickly decide this compensation, because you're going to have to switch in between targets very, very, very quickly, and you're not going to be able to really know. So you need to make sure you have the awareness of the situation so that you can make that estimation as quick as possible, because you might honestly not have very much time. So you can see this guy's coming at me, so he's most likely going to try and zigzag, and I'm following him, and I'm able to successfully land the arrow. Okay, I'm going to have to talk pretty fast here to get this in time. I start scanning for targets. I see him, he's moving back and forth. I place the target over there, he takes mine, I miss his. I scan for new targets. I see that guy. I try and interrupt him and go through there. I see this guy is low. I take him. I look around, see that guy is low. I take him. I see that archer in the distance from earlier that I saw. I take him, and then I go and I pre-aim around the box because that's where he's going to go. I lead to the box and I get him. See these guys running, they're coming across to the left, so I know they're going to go running full speed, so I have to lead them quite considerably. This guy, I tried to lead accidentally at the full speed of these other guys, so he's just moving slowly, so I have to aim very slowly to maybe half the speed I was leading before, and that's the reason why I missed him. So I didn't change up and accommodate myself for the different speeds and the stances of the people. So make sure you're accommodating for that, otherwise you're going to misplace your aim. These guys are coming directly at me. I'm slightly above them and they're below, but they're still coming towards me, so the affected aim sort of stays the same, or normally you'd have to compensate for that. So here I'm having the problem of knowing that there's a person behind that thing, but I can't see in it, so I need to try and reposition myself. But this guy's coming closer, so I try and help these guys in the engagement to take the pressure off myself. And this guy I can kind of see here, so then I get him in the corner. Here I grab the arrow out of this guy's head, and then I use it on this guy here. I track with my little thingy here to grab the arrow and not brick up my routine, because what you want to do is make sure that you're always tracking, even though if you're not actively engaging someone, if you've let go of your arrow and there's nothing else your bow can actually do, you want to keep that track going. Otherwise you have to reacquire targets. These guys are hiding behind the box. They're most likely not going to push forward, so I can just try and take different angles around the box. I get this guy in the middle. I can try and get him around the corner. I'm a little more safe here because I'm protected, but I'm not necessarily safe, but I'm kind of breaking up my pattern of doing the same repeated action over and over. You can see this guy, he's kind of moving back and forth, so I pre-aim the side to where he's going to most likely walk like he's been. I track this guy up and down, but there's a rock in the way, so I switch to this guy. The other guy's going to heal up. I put all the trees and objects in between me and him so that he can't really tell where the arrow tracked from and track back to me. I get this guy. I see a guy up here on the roof. I get him and I hide immediately behind here, so he's hard to track me. He comes around the corner and I grab him. Here's a guy over here. He's aiming to the far right. I try to go to the left, or the right on him. Now I try and go left on him. He's most likely going to come up in the middle now, and he did. Here's a guy. He is engaged with that guy. This guy's coming across. He's most likely not going to do anything because he's running in a straight line, because he's not aware of my presence. And since most people, unless they're slyly hiding the fact that they know about you, they will continue on their paths if they're not indicating any sort of danger about them. This guy is going to peek over the corner. He's mistakenly peeking. He doesn't know where I am, so for him to peek like that is very reckless, because I have all the tracking on him and I have all the jump on him, He has no idea where he has to go, and just to engage me, he has to wait until he sees me, or he has to see my arrow flight and path, and he won't have enough time before I can land mine. Well, hopefully you guys like these little mini guides that I'm going to try and do now. I'm going to go ahead and put out a lot more Chivalry 2 footage in the next week or two. I've just been really busy, lots of work in real life. So if you'd like to let me know any specific things, I can try and get them filmed. I do have a lot of Chivalry Archer stuff coming up, so please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to try and do now daily shorts, which I've been doing for about a month now, so it's going really well. Thank you. Bye-bye.